Welcome back to Josh and Kristie Stealing the Internet. Today's theme is my pet the problem? I'm Josh.
And I'm Kristie, and this is Odin. So let's get to our first story.
I don't think Odin liked that.
Did he look grumpy?
He looked very grumpy. He just wants to sleep in your lap. He doesn't want to be on camera. Am I the asshole for refusing to have my sister-in-law's service dog at my wedding?
Ooh, that is tough. I feel like service dogs should be allowed everywhere.
I'm getting married in 5 months with my fiancé, and we sent out invitations last week. Context, my sister-in-law, my husband's brother's wife, has a medical dog since she had brain cancer around 5 years ago. She has had seizures where she feels dizzy 20 seconds beforehand and goes unconscious for a couple minutes. This happens 3 to 4 times a week. She has had a dog who senses the seizures 1 to 2 minutes beforehand, and it gives her the time to lay down in a safe place and warn people that a seizure is coming. The dog, Labrador, is an angel, but sister-in-law, not so much. She is not a good person.
Oh.
She claims wrong facts about my fiancé and I's respective fields, med and biology environment, and screams at us when we politely call her out. We don't like her, but we are civil because my brother-in-law loves her. My own sister, on the other hand, is my favorite person on earth. She is my maid of honor. She is very allergic to dogs. If she's in the same room, her eyes get red and very itchy. She sneezes constantly and she has a little asthma attack. Antihistamine doesn't work on her. She isn't an entitled person, prefers to sacrifice herself than to penalize the person with the service dog. But if in the same closed room with a dog for 5 hours, she will obviously have a strong asthma attack. Me and my fiancé want my maid of honor to be comfortable in our wedding, and it's shallow, but I want her to feel pretty in our pictures and not have swollen red eyes. And we want our sister-in-law to be safe, but we thought that with her husband always around her, she will have someone to lean on. We even proposed to bring a +1 to be there for her at all instances. And the venue is a 50-person room, so it's not possible to have them separated enough and no backyard wedding in winter.
Okay.
We wanted to announce these propositions face-to-face, but sister-in-law canceled our lunch together last minute, and the invites need to be sent. So we wrote her on Messenger all our points and propositions. And we thought it was a good idea because it gave her the time to think and not feel pressured to answer our invites at the immediate moment, compared to a phone call or face-to-face. She called me and screamed that I was ableist and an asshole for suggesting to remove her from her medical help, and that I want her to create a scene at our wedding and get a concussion from falling. Brother-in-law just said, what she says goes, and we don't know what he thinks. Mother-in-law is furious and says she won't come to the wedding if sister-in-law can't bring her dog. I know I'm biased because I obviously prefer my sister, and because I myself have food allergies, and believe allergies should be accommodated in my wedding. What should I do? Am I the asshole? Is it an ass move of me to suggest that?
This one is so tough because you have 2 competing medical reasons for this dog to be there or not be there. Now, I'm a big proponent of, medical alert dogs and service dogs should be allowed everywhere. That's like telling someone they can't bring their wheelchair.
Right.
If you tell them they can't bring their dog. But your sister is also severely allergic. And I might be biased because, my sister is severely allergic to dogs and cats. She can't even ride in my car because the dogs have been in the back seat. And that amount of, fur makes her throat close up. So I'm I don't want my sister to die. So I think it comes down to who do you want more at your wedding? And for you, it sounds like your sister, but you need to make sure that your future husband is on board with this too. Because if you tell sister-in-law that she can't bring her service dog, yeah, you don't like her and you're okay if she doesn't come, but it sounds like her husband is going to back her up and also not come. That's your future husband's brother. And then it sounds like your future mother-in-law is going to back her up and not come. That's your husband's mom. Is your husband okay with all of these people missing his wedding too? This is so tough because someone is going to be mad and not come to the wedding.
It is a really tough one. I have to say, sister-in-law is a little easier to accommodate, though. She can have husband and the +1 hanging around her at all times and kind of filling in the role of the service dog. Whereas your maid of honor just cannot come if that dog turns up.
Yeah, antihistamines don't work. There's nothing that works. She's going to be miserable and sneezy and asthma attacky, not able to breathe the whole wedding.
And she's got to be in a lot of photos. She's the second most important person in those photos.
Probably third most bride, groom, maid of honor.
I think that, as somebody who was a groom once, that order is wrong.
I don't think so.
Bride, maid of honor, groom.
I'm thinking back to our wedding, and I don't feel like our maid of honor was in any, like, extra special photos or anything. You just like to joke that the groom doesn't matter at all at weddings and make me sound like a horrible bridezilla.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's so rude, Josh. I was not a bridezilla. I was a very chill bride.
But you want maid of honor to look good in photos, and you also don't want her to have to leave in an ambulance.
Yeah. But then you also need to be prepared for if you don't let sister-in-law to bring her service dog, she's gonna pass out and faint and have a seizure in the middle of your dance floor.
Yeah.
Possibly.
So, it really does sound like you have two competing disabilities and you just have to pick one. Which I don't think makes you the asshole.
Yeah, I don't think you're the asshole, but you need to discuss this with your future husband and figure out if he is on board with the decisions that you're making. You know, you need to come to an agreement with him on this. Because, yes, people are not going to come to the wedding because there's two competing medical reasons.
Yeah, and maybe have a sit-down discussion with the people that are trying to take her side and be like, hey, we just can't have them both here. I'm sorry. It's not out of any spite. Like, maybe mother-in-law has only heard sister-in-law's side. I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
Top comment. Not the asshole. In disability justice, we talk about how some accessibility needs are incompatible with others. Some people are in wheelchairs and can't use the stairs. Some cane users find slopes dangerous and can't use ramps. Some people are autistic and can't be around loud sounds. Some people are hard of hearing and need sounds to be loud in order to hear them. And yeah, some people have debilitating dog allergies and other people have service dogs. There are some cases where you just can't compromise, and you have to make choices knowing that someone is going to get the raw end. You physically cannot have both your sister and sister-in-law in the same place. This isn't something you decided. You have to side with somebody. You just have to. Both is not an option here, and you've decided to side with the person who has been nice and supportive to you instead of the one who belittles you. That's incredibly understandable.
Yes, that is a very good point, but also you need to realize that the brother, husband of sister-in-law, is also might not come to the wedding, and that might be extremely upsetting for your future husband to not have his brother there.
It sounds like one of you is not going to have a sibling there.
And that is a real shame, but it does sound unavoidable.
And then one of the replies to that person's comment, it's also a factor that maid of honor outranks barely tolerable in-law in wedding pecking order.
Yes, but is her husband a groomsman or a best man?
Yeah, he might be. That's why you're tolerating her, right?
Yeah, because your sister definitely outranks your mean sister-in-law, but does she outrank his brother?
That's a good question. You don't have to rank them, you just had to make a call.
And I do also kind of feel like if brother doesn't understand your reasoning behind this, maybe that's his own fault and he doesn't get to be at your wedding. That's his choice.
That's true. In my opinion, it sounds like you picked the person who has some workarounds. Like, sister-in-law can have human helpers, whereas your sister just can't have a dog.
Yeah. So I think they made the right choice, but there are going to be consequences and they need to be prepared for that just because sister-in-law is so unreasonable.
Am I the asshole for making my son apologize to the cats for yelling at them for stealing his food?
That is really funny. No, cats are family members. You should not be yelling at them, and if you do, you need to apologize. But I think you should also make the cats apologize for stealing his food.
That's fair. So, my son, 7, has been feeding our cats from his plate for a while, which I thought was cute at first.
Never mind, I retract that. He has been training them that this is acceptable. The cats have no need to apologize. This is entirely his fault.
The problem is, now he gets mad whenever they actually take bites without asking. Yesterday, he yelled at one of them for nibbling on his chicken, which, honestly, is partly his fault. I decided he needed to take responsibility for the situation. I made him apologize to the cats, explaining that they were just doing what he encouraged and that yelling at them isn't acceptable behavior. He cried, stomped his feet, and called me ridiculous. My partner says I'm overreacting and that making him apologize to animals is a little much. I feel like I'm teaching him empathy, accountability, and that actions have consequences, even if it's with cats. So, am I the asshole?
Not the asshole. I think you are teaching him a good lesson that, animals have feelings too. You need to be nice to them.
And also, If you're rude to animals, chances are you're going to grow up to be rude to people.
Yeah.
It's sort of like he's 7.
Mm-hmm.
This is training him to be a good person.
Yeah, this is a good lesson to learn. It's not acceptable to yell at anyone unless they really, really deserve it. But these cats did not.
Yeah, you gotta be nice to the pets.
Mm-hmm.
Top comment. Might be ridiculous if he was 17, but at 7, silly things like apologizing to the cat is a totally acceptable thing to do. Not the asshole. Bruh, you're parenting in an age-appropriate way. To which someone replied, I'm 43 and I apologize to my dogs all the time and talk to them like they're human.
I was going to say, I don't know, I still might make my 17-year-old apologize to the cat. I'd actually hope that I'd raised my 17-year-old in a way that they would be apologizing to the cat because cats are family members and we treat them like people.
Right. By the time they're 17, you hope that you've taught them well enough that you don't need to tell them to apologize to the pet.
Yeah, you hope they either don't yell at them or if they do, in the heat of the moment, they apologize.
Right. Not the asshole. He started feeding them. They are only doing what was taught to them. Now that should make him stop feeding them.
Yeah, now he's got to teach them that it's not okay. Those cats are going to be so confused.
Right.
Are we allowed the chicken off his plate or not?
Yeah, they've been trained that this is community food.
Yeah.
I don't blame you either for that. It was cute at first. That's how all these things start, right? It's cute at first. That cat's up to mischief.
It's adorable. But then when they're doing it every single day, it's less adorable.
Yeah, now they're just licking things off of your son's plate. It's a little less adorable. Am I the asshole for not wanting to change my cat's name because my pregnant cousin wants to use his name?
Not the asshole. How often is that cousin's baby gonna see your cat?
I, 22 female, found a stray kitten 3 years ago and I named him Daniel. My cousin and her husband, both 25, are expecting a baby boy in January that they want to use the name Daniel for. My cousin texted me saying she and her husband love the name Daniel, and if I could change my cat's name. When I asked her why, she told me she doesn't want her son to share a name with the pet cat.
A pet cat that she's probably never gonna see.
A pet cat that she's naming her son after.
Yeah.
I told her no, because my cat had that name first, and that me changing his name would probably confuse him. Because there's studies proving that cats know their name. I mean, it's a pet. Yeah, they know their name.
Yeah, they definitely do.
My cousin called me a jerk. Her husband texted me on the phone saying to change the cat's name because he's just a regular stupid house cat. While his son would have that name forever.
As soon as they called my cat stupid, them's fighting words.
Them's fighting words. That's my baby boy. I told him the same thing. He called me an asshole for not wanting to change my cat's name. My mom called me this morning saying my cousin cried to her saying I'm being rude. My mom told me I should just change my cat's name to make everyone happy.
Do not.
Everyone but you.
Yeah, and the cat.
So, are they the asshole?
No, not the asshole. Like, what, do they think there are no other Daniels in the world? Like, that this name is exclusively for their baby's use? That's insane.
All the other Daniels just need to change their name.
Yeah, but all the other Daniels aren't cats, and it is demeaning to be named the same name as a cat.
Right.
Apparently.
It's not that weird.
It's really not, and I feel like if it is so important to you that your child is not named the same name as a cat, you need to pick a different name for your child.
Yeah, right? Like, when you're discussing names, you just be like, what about Daniel? I like that, but that's my cousin's stupid cat, and I hate that cat. So, we're not going to use that one.
Yeah, you can't tell other people what to name their pets and children. It's not okay.
Top comment. Does your cousin normally throw complete shit fits about stupid stuff and expect everyone to bend over backwards for her? If that's the case, tell everyone you renamed the cat. It's a 2-part name. One half is her husband's name, the other half is the masculine version of her name. Don't actually rename the cat, but turn the drama up so that she learns not to mess with you in the future.
Also, I'm petty, so if they did name their son Daniel, I would constantly refer to him as either Daniel II or Daniel the human, not the cat.
Yeah, human Daniel.
Yeah. My cat is just Daniel.
Oh,
Your baby is human Daniel.
I think you need to add to your pet's name. My cat is now Good Daniel.
Oh, yes. Good Daniel and human Daniel. Daniel the Glorious, first of his name. And other Daniel.
I like that. I like that a lot. All baby clothes and gifts from you are 100% cat themed. Stuffed cat toy, blanket with a cat print on it, pajamas covered in pictures of sleeping cats.
That is another kind of petty I also like.
Yeah.
Because this is such a non-issue, them making such a big deal out of it, I want to be so petty.
You absolutely do, right? You gotta reply to pettiness with pettiness. That's just what makes life worth living.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the comments is your thing. Not the asshole. Start referring to them as Daniel and Human Daniel. To which just people are replying different types of names that you can give them. Daniel and Daniel Jr. D1 and D2, like the bananas in pajamas.
Daniel the Great and Daniel the Lesser.
I could see a cat being named Daniel the Great.
Daniel the Great and Daniel the Adequate. I just come up with semi-insulting things to this poor kid. That's not the kid's fault. So I would stop doing it before they learned to talk, but I would totally be doing this just to annoy their parents.
I think you do it up until the point that he's born. And then you can cool down a little. My fiance wants me to put my dog up for adoption. I refuse, but he is allergic. Am I the asshole?
Not the asshole. I'm assuming you had the dog before you had the fiance, so dog takes priority.
So me, 28 female, and my fiance, 30 male, have been together for 3 years, engaged for 6 months. I have a 6-year-old golden retriever named Max, who I've had since he was a puppy. He's my best friend, has gotten me through a lot emotionally, and is genuinely part of my family. My fiance recently moved in with me, and we discovered that his dog allergy is worse than he thought. He gets itchy eyes, sneezing fits, and sometimes has trouble breathing. We've tried allergy meds and keeping Max out of the bedroom, but it's still been hard on him. Now he's asking me to put Max up for adoption. He says it's not fair that he's uncomfortable in his own home, and that this is something we have to compromise on if we're going to be living together long term. I flat out refused. I told him Max is not up for negotiation. I understand allergies suck, and I'm doing what I can to mitigate them, but I won't rehome a dog who's done nothing wrong and who's been by my side for years. He thinks I'm being unreasonable in prioritizing a dog over our relationship. I think he's being unreasonable for expecting me to give up a beloved pet. We're at an impasse. Am I the asshole? It's a difficult one for me, but I need to be open-minded.
That is tough, but I'm going not the asshole. And honestly, I don't think I could get married to someone who had that severe of pet allergies because they're so important to me.
I would assume that if you have a severe allergy, you wouldn't date someone that has a pet. But he didn't realize it was so bad.
Yeah, I was like, the thing is they were really far into the relationship before he realized how bad his allergies are.
But still, you made it 3 years into this relationship without figuring it out.
Yeah, that seems a little sketchy to me.
I guess they didn't stay over very often.
Also, his logic, like, I am uncomfortable in my home, so you need to kick this dog out of his home. And it's, like, insane to me. And it's just that he feels like the dog is less important than him, which I'm such a huge animal lover. Like, I don't think that seems valid. Like, that dog is part of my family, and the fiancé is saying we need to make compromises if we're going to live together long term. Well, the compromise is that after Max, we won't get another dog. But you cannot just rehome your 6-year-old dog. That is cruel.
That is cruel. I don't know what the solution is, though, because you also don't want to get rid of your fiancé, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to have to, like, invest in a lot of air purifiers.
Yeah, a lot of air purifiers, vacuum every day, and a lot of allergy meds.
Yeah, maybe Max can be locked out of the bedroom.
They're already doing that, she said.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. Maybe look into allergy shots. I hear those are a lot more effective.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
For some people.
But it is tough. I don't want you to have to pick one or the other. Mm-hmm. But I feel like getting rid of Max is not the solution.
Yeah, and your fiancé wants you to pick one or the other, and he wants you to pick him. Which is a little bit of a red flag to me.
He's really suffering, though.
Yeah.
So I can't 100% blame him either. I don't know, if you were super allergic to my pet, I might send my pets to live with my parents. But I don't know if OP has that option.
Yeah, I was like, if you have a good home to send them to where you can still see them frequently and stuff, you know, and you know they'll be well taken care of, I mean, maybe. But also, like, that's her best friend.
Yeah, it's her best friend, and he's asking her to put it up for adoption to, it sounds like, a stranger.
Yeah.
Which is way worse than sending it to live with mom and dad.
Yeah.
Top comment, it's high time incompatible people start accepting they're incompatible.
Yeah, they just sound incompatible, and I know that anybody who had severe animal allergies would be incompatible with me, and I wouldn't even think about dating them. Because animals are so important to me.
And then somebody actually replied with a bunch of actually helpful advice.
Oh, okay.
You're going to have to deep clean the hell out of your house. Get the ductwork cleaned by professionals. Remove rugs and carpets, or at least get them steam cleaned. Replace the couch and chairs with ones that are leather or vinyl. Wash curtains if you have them. Get an allergy-blocking mattress cover. Get the dog washed and groomed outside the house. Get the house cleaned top to bottom. Probably more things, but you get the idea. If your fiancé is moving in, you'll have to do most of this whether the dog is there or not. Try it all before getting rid of either of them. Cleaning and grooming your dog are going to be your life if you keep both.
Yeah.
Which is fair. You are going to have to deep clean everything, and that dog is going to be getting, like, a bath every day.
Okay, that's a bit extreme. That's really bad for their skin. But, like, every 3 weeks, maybe?
I don't know. At least brushed outside.
Yeah, brushed outside every day, definitely.
Yeah. If you want both of them, you're going to have to invest, it sounds like. Might even need to move to a bigger place.
Yeah, maybe.
You've had the dog for 6 years. Your fiancé has been with you for 3 years. Is this the first time your fiancé has interacted with your dog? To which OP replied, no, he's interacted quite often with the dog. Max is just inside more, and it's colder these days. And my fiancé is just sick of sneezing, which I can understand, but again, it's conflicting. She's got some work to do if she wants both of them.
Yeah.
But I can't really call anyone the asshole here.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that the fiancé is miserable, but, like, asking her to get rid of her best friend seems extreme to me.
It's a bit asshole behavior, but he's asking, not demanding.
Yeah.
So that's a point in his favor. I kind of feel like everyone's just neutral. I don't know. They need to find out a solution. I don't know if adoption is the first one, though.
Yeah.
This is my favorite one out of the group, by the way.
Okay.
Am I the asshole I pet my cat drunk?
What?
I am writing this intoxicated. My cat is very finicky and only likes to be pet a certain way. I pet her not thinking about it and she didn't like it and swatted me. Am I the asshole? Is she the asshole? I've been crying for 10 minutes now. I just want to pet her.
You're the asshole. Pet your kitty the right way, and if you can't keep your drunken hands to yourself, well, that's a you problem, and your cat has every right to swat you.
But she just wants to pet the kitty.
Let me love you!
Top comment. Drink some water and go to bed, mate. Another comment. I'm crying laughing at this, to which OP replied, does she hate me?
Right now, yeah, she does. Get your act together and figure out how to pet her the right way.
Somebody replied to OP, cats hate everybody, please go to bed now. Cats have a low tolerance for drunk people. She's watching you. Watch her.
They're always judging.
They are always judging. And one more comment on this. This is Reddit. Clearly your cat is cheating on you and you should get a divorce.
Yes.
Put an AirTag on your cat. They are tempted by the catnip of another. And check their phones. Lock down their credit too, one never knows.
But also, since this is on Reddit, I feel like we're only getting one side of the story. I really need to know the cat's side of the story here.
Yeah. Did you just go and pet that cat completely backwards? Because that's not acceptable behavior even while drunk.
I feel like OP might be hiding a lot of red flags from us.
There's a lot of information they're leaving out. Am I the asshole because of my new unconventional pet?
Not the asshole. I love unconventional pets. What is it, an anteater?
That would be a hell of an unconventional pet.
I bet it's really just a lizard or a tarantula or something, but I want an anteater.
My housemate, friend, and basically sister, who has been my brother's best friend since I was 3, is no longer speaking to me because I brought a giant water bug home. And she said I couldn't keep it, but I kept it anyway because I thought having a little aquarium in my room wouldn't hurt anyone, right?
Did it escape? Those things bite really hard, don't they?
They are famous for having one of the most painful bites of any bug in North America.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want that in my house. I mean, generally I'm okay with bugs, but I would be so paranoid about that thing escaping and biting me. I don't want to get bit by that.
They don't have traditional jaws.
Uh-huh.
They have a large needle-like proboscis that they inject digestive fluid with.
So they're like, oh, so it's like acid or something almost.
Yeah,
but,
they stab you with acid.
Yeah, that's so gross. No, I don't want that to happen to me.
It's not really dangerous for humans, but it hurts like hell.
Yeah.
But I thought having it wouldn't hurt anyone, right? Wrong. My housemate has a phobia of bugs, particularly flying bugs, that I didn't realize was so intense she'd forbid me from keeping a bug in a small, secure, and nicely decorated tank in my bedroom. But the problem is, I'm extremely attached to this bug. His name is Nemo. I found him lost on the sidewalk and had been taking care of him all night before I brought him home. I learned later that giant water bugs bite really bad, but I'd been carrying him around on my hands and he didn't bite me. And I know it's stupid, but I feel like he chose me.
I think you just got lucky.
I have been wanting a pet for so long, and setting up Nemo's adorable new aquarium has brought me so much joy. I know he's just a bug, but I'm a highly sensitive and emotional person, and I actually love this bug as if I've just bought a puppy. There are already 2 dogs and a cat in the house, and I just want a pet of my own. In my mind, I can't understand how it's any different to having a fish, and I think it's ridiculous that she would tell me I'm not allowed a bug. It doesn't make any noise, it barely even moves at all.
Okay, yeah, but if a fish escapes its tank, it just dies. If this bug escapes this tank, it could attack you and stab you and inject you full of digestive juices.
In Michigan, we call these toe biters.
Yeah.
Because you accidentally step on them and they stab your ass.
Okay, wait, how big are these things? They're pretty big, right? Okay, I thought they were like 3 or 4 inches, right?
They're, I believe, the second biggest bug in the continental United States.
Okay.
Their only bug that's like bigger than them is a type of walking stick.
Okay, yeah, I thought they were like the size of the palm of your hand or something like that, like really big.
Yeah, I think it might be, I'm not sure what the measurement is because there's obviously a lot of longer walking sticks than this, but they're like dense too.
Yeah. They're big fat round babies.
Yeah. I've always been sensitive to her phobia. I know it's serious, and I always rescue her when moths get into the house, and empathize with her when she comes home from work with stories about bugs that scared her.
Okay, wait, so you've had to rescue your roommate from moths, and you thought bringing a giant water bug home was okay? What kind of Delulu land are you living in?
I really had no idea the bugs would still be so scary when locked in a pretty little tank. I've tried to apologize for upsetting her, but she ignored me and walked away. She wants me to get rid of the bug, but I can't because he is my son. Am I the asshole? We are both autistic if that matters, lol.
Yeah, you're the asshole. And this coming from someone who's okay with bug pets, like I had 2 praying mantises as pets for a while. You're the asshole.
These bugs are compared to praying mantises a lot often because they are such voracious predators. Also, I did a lot of research on water bugs before I looked into this one. If it's cold outside, you can usually safely pick them up because they're moving so slowly. But once your body heat starts warming them up, your chances of getting stabbed increase exponentially.
Oh no. So you're bringing it into your nice, warm, toasty, warm house, it is going to start stabbing everyone.
Yeah.
I'm like, even if it is, it's in a cage, it can escape? Do you know how many hamsters I've lost over the years? Things escape cages all the time.
That's true. I bet a water bug is way better at getting out through cracks than a hamster.
Yeah. But yes, I'd say you're the asshole. If you are living with other people, you need to make sure everybody in the house is on board with the new pet before you bring the new pet home.
But this is his son.
It's his son.
Top comment, you're the asshole. I have no idea what a water bug is, lol. But it's not a pet. It doesn't belong in an aquarium. Your friend has a known phobia of bugs, and yet you brought one into the house? Just knowing it's there is enough to upset your friend. You should get rid of it ASAP and apologize. I don't know, why not just get some fish for your aquarium? They make okay pets, and you'll have fun decorating and setting up the tank too. To which someone replied, it's a cockroach. Apparently cockroaches in some areas are called water bugs.
Oh.
And
That is not
what it is, but they look a lot like cockroaches if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, but really big.
Yeah, we don't have cockroaches this big in the US.
No.
But if you looked at it and called it a large cockroach, I'd be like, close.
Yeah. I feel like OP, if they are this into bugs as pets, might feel that fish are a little bit meh as a pet. Might I suggest some shrimp? Or some little crabs of some sort.
They do have the right amount of legs.
Yes, I feel like that would be more up OP's alley as a pet, but also cannot leave the water and will not freak your roommate out.
Yeah, crab might be a good compromise, you're right. Just as violent of a predator, but trapped in water. No, you aren't sensitive to her phobia, as per your entire post describing how insensitive you are being to her phobia.
Yeah.
You're the asshole. To which OP replied, maybe me and Nemo will just have to move out.
He's gonna move out with his bug. How long do water bugs live for?
Somebody replied to that. I had to Google giant water bug to figure out what you're referring to. You're so in love with this insect that you disturbed its life to place it in captivity of a tiny container. You're the asshole. It has a lifespan of a year. That's it. You are preventing her cycle of reproduction, laying eggs before dying, or if it's a male, caring for his young.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, I bet this thing has like a 1-year lifespan, and we're getting closer to fall, and it's cold, and that's why it was like laying on the sidewalk, because it's dying because it's cold.
Yeah.
And it's just at the end of its life cycle.
Yeah, it was definitely old.
I was like, because that's how it was with my praying mantises, praying mantises only live like 9 months, and then they die.
Yeah. Not only are you killing years of friendship, you say you're willing to move out for it. For an insect that has already lived at least 30% of its life. Seriously nuts, set it free and stop being selfish.
I do also feel like OP might have some attachment issues if they're this attached to this bug after like 24 hours. It's their son and they're willing to move out over it. Like, maybe you should go see a therapist.
OP just really wants a pet.
Yeah, get something else that is not going to freak your roommate out.
And then they did make a couple edits.
Mm-hmm.
Please stop telling me to let it go. I've been very clear that's not an option. I love him. I'm going to talk to my boss about keeping him on my office desk, or perhaps just move out. I don't really want to live somewhere I can't have pet bugs anyway. I've decided I'm going to talk to her and help her understand how much I love Nemo. I think she just needs to understand he's more than just a random bug to me.
You are expecting your roommate to be very understanding when you have already not been very understanding yourself.
I think you don't understand how irrational phobias are.
Yeah.
It's not about, look, it's behind glass, and it's kind of cute when it's behind glass. It's, no, that's a flying bug, get it away from me.
It's gonna escape, and it's gonna get me.
Yeah.
I don't care how many locks you have on it, bugs are sneaky little escapers.
Yeah. What if it's a female and it lays eggs?
No! I mean, like I said, I've kept bugs as pets before, but there are some bugs where you gotta draw the line. And, like, that's the ones that are actually dangerous, I feel. Especially if someone in your house has a phobia.
Dangerous isn't... I don't know if I'd quite call it dangerous, but it's painful.
It's very unpleasant.
Yes. All right, that's the last of our pet drama for today. Thanks for tuning in to Josh and Kristie Stealing the Internet.
Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. He looks so grumpy.
Yeah, I mean, he naturally looks grumpy. But yes.
He biting me. He don't like this. This is bullshit.